In the early 1950s, effort was expended to determine the viability of using gas turbines as a means of producing motive force in a locomotive. GT3, which stands for gas turbine number 3, followed on from its predecessors' units, 1800 and 18100 as gas turbines numbered 1 and number 2. The GT3 was a prototype mainline gas turbine locomotive. Built in 1961 by English Electric at their Vulcan foundry in Newton-le-Willows, this was to showcase its products to British Railways. It was designed by Vulcan engineer J.O.P. Hughes in a project that started way back in the early 1950s. Outwardly, it looked just like a steam tender locomotive, although in the case of GT3, the tender was loaded with kerosene. The GT3 was a 460-wheel arrangement similar to the British Rail standard Class 5 steam locomotive chassis, fitted with an EM27L gas turbine, generating 2,700 horsepower, or if you prefer 2,000 kilowatts. However, the chassis itself was significantly strengthened in order to cope with the high torque of the turbine. It had a maximum speed of 90 miles per hour, that's 140 kilometers an hour, weighed in at 125.5 tons, and was painted in a red oxide livery. British Rail tested it at its Rugby Test Centre, and then further testing was conducted on the former Great Central Main Line around Leicester and on the West Coast Main Line around the Shapping Cline. At this time, Vulcan was also fully engaged in manufacturing diesel-electric locomotives of many different types, including the famous Deltic. These were rapidly gaining hold as the future of rail traction. Diesel electrics have no need for turntables, which is a significant advantage that the GT3 with its steam low-cost style layout was unable to offer. British Rail decided to opt for diesel and electric traction, and the GT3 was returned to the Vulcan foundry at the end of 1962. Where it was gradually dismantled, it was eventually scrapped at the Thomas W. Ward Yard in Salford in February 1966. Interestingly enough, having been towed there by a British Rail standard steam locomotive. We hope you've enjoyed this sad tale of the birth and death of this experimental locomotive, which sadly never made it into regular service. Well, thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe for more videos showing unusual British locomotives.